100 years ago, 1.5 billion people live on Earth. And the family already has more than 6 billion people. We're on a fragile planet. Even if it is on Earth, there are still some places that humans rarely visit. This show will take you to the final wilderness, show what the planet looks like. Very wild animals you've never seen before. Imagine a world without the sun. Facing the harshest environment on Earth is endless. The temperature dropped to -70 degrees. Other animals have long since left the sun. Only the penguins stay low. Because every penguin is guarding a treasure. Join the collection, the eggs on there in step. Relying on the fleece on the drooping belly. Mammals keeps warm. They have no food and no water, and I didn't see the sun for 4 months. This is definitely an animal. Experience the most severe test. The sun has moved away from the South Pole, shining on the distant northern sky. The sun returns to the Arctic hinterland. Driving away for months of darkness, a white blood red woke up. All winter long, it's all spent in caves. His appearance marked the dawn of spring. Months of underground seclusion are over. It's a swipe down the slope, or tie it to clean the fur, or maybe it's just happiness. His crimson is his first bet. Watching a bright new world, Takeo summons Yuo. But only on this steep slope. It's not easy to take the first step. They were too hungry, eager to live by my mother's side. On this special day, Takeo has postponed the future. Time. And home should be the time to fulfill responsibilities. Milk is a great temptation. Since Yohong was born more than 2 months ago, this became their only food. Mother hasn't eaten in 5 months, lost half of your body weight, and it will have a low amount of fat left. Braided milk, feed his oil red. The spring sun brings warmth. But that's a problem for internet celebrities. Sea ice is starting to melt. And Takeo, you need to kill the sea cannon to feed and be red, so it has to be on ice. Reach the degree before it breaks. The temperature at home, still only -30 degrees Celsius. Yuhong must return to the cave to avoid the cold. On the 6th day after the Arctic geese, spring moves very fast. But even if it is connected, blizzard, it will still come without warning. Young bears can easily freeze. It may be more comfortable to hide in the winter moon, but it's Takeo. Be sure to take them outside for activities. Hunger tortured him to the point of weakness. There's no food on this slope. The sea ice is still solid, but that won't last very long. Day 10 Takeo. Lead Kiajong a mile away from the nest. Home should be the time to test them. Their confidence is growing, but they are not as anxious as Takeo. Finally, they seemed ready to travel. They're just in time. A few miles offshore, the ice has started to crack, and Takaoka will hunt seals. Acquire emergency food. And he is also leading the young male into a dangerous new world. Nearly half of the young males, he died during his first year of ice adventures. Summer means 24 hours of sunshine. Melting snow and ice constantly changes the landscape. On the Arctic tundra, the winter snow has almost completely disappeared. This is the wilderness of northern Canada. Nature is at its strongest. The scene of the view. Every year 3 million migrating pure Americans cross the Arctic tundra. Huge herd of deer. Only the sky. To be able to fully appreciate its grandeur, there's a herd of deer over 2,000 miles a year to reach the fresh grassland first. These are the longest land migrations in the animal kingdom. Newborn guy. Must be the first day of birth. Get up and run, but a huge herd of deer. I'm not traveling alone, cause there are waves. Small army of 8-10 wolves. Quiet and beautiful. They were already very surprised. Their target is the new guy. Keep rushing to the old group. It's a panic tactic. 6 groups spread out. It's easier for wolves to lock onto a target. Cloud lotus seeds. A little guy got separated from his mother. Although the deer is so thin, but if you run at full speed, they can run faster than wolves. In one case, there are generally 2 possibilities. A bunch of pure guys make mistakes by themselves. Otherwise, after chasing for a mile, he chooses to give up. In the midsummer season of the family land belt, there will be no sunset. This is a high latitude region. Solar radiation can only reach this piece of land. Very little energy reaches the ground. Does not like to support tree growth. 500 miles south of the Yangtze River from here, First, it is possible for trees to grow, these little shrubs, marking the boundaries of the forest. The boreal forest begins here. This is Tycholine University. The growth of conifers, leaves, not edible at all. So there's a lot of animals that live in the forest. Very rare. This is a place of silence. There are no footprints on the snow. Every Arctic winter, snow is a piece of land, covered with a vast and boundless layer of silver felt. However, as spring gradually arrived from the south, Tycholine University has also lifted its veil. The vast forests whose leaves encircle the earth. It houses 1/3 of the trees on Earth, generates a lot of oxygen, altering the composition of the atmosphere. Follow us south. The influence of the sun is gradually increasing. 50 degrees north latitude is a major change, the starting point of revolution. Due to the long enough summer, broad-leaved forests can replace zengi forests. Broad-leaved forest leaves, easier to eat and digest. Therefore, animals, they can also receive the energy bestowed by the sun. The family summer, a lively scene in the forest, but it didn't last due to the severe cold. Broadleaf trees lose their leaves in winter. After the leaves disappear, the land is desolate. Animal food is becoming increasingly scarce. Residents can only move to other places, or hibernate, or endure months of famine. This is the Far Eastern Canyon, the rarest cats in the world. This is the deciduous forest in eastern Russia. Winter makes hunting rather difficult. Prey is rare. There is no vegetation that can be hidden. Xiaopong is already a year old, but he still has to rely on his mother. They often die in the cold winter. These cannons won't mind eating dead meat floss. Remember, Africa is not going to survive on its own. And Russian cats, there is thick fur to keep out the cold, and only 40 Far Eastern guns survive in the world. And the number of intermediate degrees decreases tightly. Like many animals, habitat destroyed due to poaching and burial. These big cats are on the brink of extinction. Far Eastern Canyon fully exposes the fragility of natural heritage, the future of the entire species. Just rely on a few model guns. Looks like one. All animals, whether rare or common. Ultimately, it depends on the energy of the sun. Every time the cherry blossoms are in full bloom in Japan, it also means the arrival of spring. The sun creates a painting with energy. Colorful landscape paintings. The earth revolves around the sun every year. It's also wrapped around a sloping bamboo tile, causing the change of seasons in the world, changing with the seasons, the waning influence of the northern pearl sun. The deciduous forests of America are slowing down and deal with the upcoming months of cold and darkness. Take over for another season. Some creatures thrive on corruption. Most creatures have to prepare for winter, the days without sunlight. Animals in groups catch up and find food. Long and warm journey together. 300,000 bird duck move to South Korea. Ape from Siberia. It's a group. It gathers all the lotus roots in the world, but there are places in the world there would be no seasons. Tropical region. Solar radiation directly hit the earth, more or less throughout the year. Controlled by this influence. So the jungles here are lush and lush. Life is thriving. These forests cover only 3% of the Earth's surface, but it is the plant and animal species. That's 50% of the world. The canopy is where life thrives. There are monkeys, bird. There are millions of species of insects. As for the exact amount, we still don't know. There are ups and downs. The character of the forest is changing. Down the line, Juyu dark and damp, suitable for a variety of emotional objects, less than 2% of sunlight to reach the forest floor. Even if it is, the biodiversity of this island is also extremely rich. There are 42 different species of birds of paradise. One is stranger than the other. Forest is still rich. Nutritious and delicious food is at your fingertips. This has also pushed the green line of some males to the extreme. Have time to focus on other things. For example, cleaning his stage. The whole place has to be clean and tidy. Everything is ready. Very exciting. Unfortunately, there is no audience. Glorious bliss. You are attracted by your name. He seems lucky. Come with me. He should do something first to impress the feed. Quit and step back. Think about it. Ready to make a decision, inevitably be frustrated. Because he has given his all. But it failed. Except on land, also affects life in the ocean, when waves and ocean currents bury vast amounts of nutrients. Return to the surface where the sun shines. When the sea. It has become the busiest dining place. South Africa looks forward to foreign waters. There is a magical power, and the output is very high. Summer is the harvest season. It is also the breeding season for seals. Great white shark. It only lasts about a second. This picture appears when it is slowed down 40 times. The sheer skill and power of a giant predator. If the raid fails, the shark will unfold its strongest. Sharks are faster in a straight line, but you can't turn as nimbly as a seal. These are the most agile and powerful, even until the seals finish breeding. The great white shark will move on. Great white sharks travel thousands of miles, just for different seas. Joy a seasonal feast. The sun protects the waters of the tropics, drives the world's weather systems, water heating, evaporation into water vapor, rise and form a huge storm, formation offshore, invade the mainland, direct roll land area, across the Sahara Desert, created the largest gauze in the world. The grains of sand are blown to the other side of the earth. The Amazon forest is weakened as a result. Wind sweeps across the Indian Ocean, while collecting moisture, while pouncing towards the Himalayan alliance in the north. The rise of the Kwiju stream. The temperature is also gradually decreasing. The moisture you carry begins to condense. Then it falls to the ground as monsoon rains nourish all things on earth, to the atmospheric circulation driven by the sun, bringing humid air to the middle of the continent. Without water, there is no life. However, the distribution of water on land is extremely uneven. Deserts cover 1/3 of the Earth's surface, and the streets get bigger every year. This is the Kalahari Desert in southern Africa. In the family dry season, thousands of elephants start long distance in disdain, desperate to find water. All the wildlife that crosses southern Africa, both have the same purpose. African buffaloes also join the huge team. There are so many animals with the same purpose. A large-scale relocation has been carried out. This is not found anywhere else on Earth. Their goal is the Okavango Swamp. Vast inland delta. It was still in the cold season. Fresh water will arrive soon. Private gauze. The animal that trapped this group of angels, the generals and the young ones are not careful, will be separated from the main force. Yes, only mother and son. The refuge is within a few miles of woodland in front of the mountain. It can't rest. Be sure to arrive as soon as possible. The main force has already arrived safely. Finally, the lagging players finally emerged from the dust. The exhausted teenager still can't see the way clearly, because the shirt blindfolded his eyes. The general will help him as much as possible, and the storm has subsided. But not all elephants are so lucky. A baby elephant got lost. Even if he is thirsty and tired, he is still following in his mother's footsteps. Fortunately, he's going the wrong way. At the height of the return of the Kalahari, Okavango greets the cement road. This water is inspiring. Thousands of miles away. Rainfall in the highlands of Angola. They all stayed for nearly 5 months until they arrived first. Water drives insects out of hot, dry soil. They quickly become delicious snacks. Catfish that rushed in with the flood, feeding on drowning victims left behind by birds. For all animals, this is a seasonal feast. Birds are the first to arrive among all the guests. This is what you want to do often. Objective. After the birds come the African buffalo. After weeks of long-distance fever, they finally reach the finish line. Floods cover Okaman. Vast areas of the Kalahari become a wealthy paradise. There is no other place on Earth can prove more clearly than this the significance of water for life. Animal. Gradually enter the heart of Okavango. This road has become intertwined. The new one opens up new avenues. Blood flows among the animals, continuously expanding outward. These are some of the most extraordinary things to see in Africa. A harmonious and prosperous water world. Some animals just do it. This is the red hunter spirit. This kind of antelope departments pretend to be open so that they can go into the water and run quickly. Some animals, I don't really like this kind of change. Suddenly, there will be some unease in the water. Water brings an abundance to all animals. Harvest season. African wild dog, the rarest rainstorm animal, but they are still on the African continent. The most efficient food producer, their secret is teamwork. Black banning is their favorite food. The hunt begins. The dogs are dispersed privately. Through the lens in the sky, we can see through a new vision. Their tactics, once the dogs approach their prey, disperse immediately, capture a position around the target. They seem to be planning to form a circle around black banning. They are quiet. Silence is approaching. Then take your place. Others can detect the slightest sound. Hunt begins. 3 wild dogs chased after a black bell, but I can't catch it. The head dog drives the black spot bell to the flanking ambush area. He will estimate their escape route, then immediately withdraw from the corner. Join this total attack from the flanks. Success or failure is a pair of people. Yi Yuan has a history. Black spotted bell has speed. Jumping into the lake is a desperate choice. Black banning is actually not very good at swimming. Wild dogs also know that their prey will come ashore sooner or later. It will be soaked to death, and they just have to wait. Other members of the pack are now calling. They've taken care of the trees. Catch a prey. This is the signal to invite them to join the banquet. This one is very lucky. Dog pack of this size. Exposure to the sun once a day, and share the prey together. The black spot bell has just been delayed. Day of execution. Bring the group sign to the end of a long journey. After weeks of traveling, they're all exhausted. Nothing like the leader smelling the smell of water. He encourages the herd to make one last effort. Baby elephant tired, but their mothers have been on this journey before. Process. They know that the water is not far ahead. After traveling hundreds of miles, they finally reached their destination. The lives of these elephants decided to alternate between the dry and wet seasons once a year. This is the seasonal cycle caused by the sun, the southernmost point of the earth. It took 4 months. After the darkness, the sun rises again over the South Pole, and home emperor penguin. Finally, I don't want to squeeze together anymore. Male penguins still watch over their babies the entire long Antarctic winter night. They've been taking care of their eggs, the return of the emerald sun. Eggs are also starting to hatch. The other birds have not arrived yet. And emperor penguins, it was a long, dark winter, so their BB will also have a leading edge. This BB and the family is ready, looking forward to enjoying a short summer in Antarctica.